Hello, pipers in the YouTube pipe community. What's going on? So, hard to believe that we're already winding down 2025 as we come ever closer to Christmas Day and New Year's. Smoking a 2021 Savinelli St. Nicholas. This is a 626. So it's actually a relatively small bowl compared to most of the other pipes that I have, which all have larger chambers. This is the one that I decided to go with in 2021 when I saw this design for the St. Nicholas pipes from Savinelli. I don't collect all of them. I collect the ones that I like based on their aesthetics. And to me, this just seems like a sweet little Santa pipe, you know, not too big. Definitely good for a quicker smoke, especially for me this time of the year when I'm out here in my garage studios, which I still haven't gotten clean to my liking and still don't have kerosene for my heater to make the place warmer while I do these videos and just come out here to have a pipe in general. Anyway, um, what do I got in this here pipe? One of my blends that I'll be smoking this holiday season, ergo, the title of the video, and that is Sutliff's Holiday 2020 Crinkle Flake, which to everyone's surprise is a vapor. Excuse my clumsiness. Goes to show how little I smoke vapors, right? This is from 2020, and look how much I've still got of this one tin, right? But look at these flakes. Just just look at that. Oh, come on now. There we go. I mean, I believe this was primarily like an aged Perique that they were using in these Kringle Flake blends that they came out with. This one in particular, 2020, really good. And you all know I'm not a Virginia or even to a degree vapor kind of guy. I like my Englishes, my crossovers, and my aromatics, semi-aromatics. Myself personally do have to kind of like sip at this, like slow sip it and small puffs. If I go aggressive, I'm gonna burn my tongue. Even with the few years of age on this blend. So anyway, my Christmas blends or my holiday blends that I'll be smoking throughout the holidays, because I've never done a top 5 for a year or a top 10 for a year or anything like that. I think the main reasons I really don't get into those kinds of videos are because even though I primarily like a lot of English and Balkan forward type blends and I dabble into other things, it's the fact that I dabble in a lot of different types of blends that it doesn't really warrant me to decide which ones I really like, even if I was to take the time and figure out which ones I've smoked more often than not throughout the year and stuff like that. To me, it still doesn't mean that for me, I like those blends more than anything else. I don't think that's what it would mean at all. So that's kind of just why I don't do it. But I figured at the very least I could share some of the blends that I will smoke on and off throughout this holiday season. And the blends I'm going to get into here, which is just kind of like showing you what it is, and not that I'm really going to get into it, doesn't mean that that's all I'm going to be smoking, over the next few weeks as we wind down 2025 and break into 2026. Because I'll probably have a couple of blends that I would regularly smoke in between these blends that I've picked out for the holiday season, and maybe even a cigar or two. And not that I'm a big cigar guy, but that'll be a topic for another day maybe. So what do we got, right? For me, this holiday season, I'm looking at the Crinkle Flake, which I'm enjoying right now, which I won't be surprised if I only have another bowl of this at some other point over the next couple of weeks. Another one I might dabble into, and at least going into the new year, and maybe for the first month or two of 26, might be this here, what I call hot cocoa. This is not a real blend. This is Cornell and Deal's corncob pipe with a button nose with black Cavendish added to it, because corncob pipe and a button nose is a great aromatic all on its own, but for me it's a little too much, and by just mixing a 1-to-1 ratio of black Cavendish with the Cornell and Deal blend helps make it a little more satisfying for me. I don't think it makes it better, I just think it makes it more satisfying, if that makes any kind of sense. So there's that. Another offering from Cornell and Deal that I'm probably going to get into this season. Yep, bear with me. For a Virginia Perique, this stuff is really fantastic. Dark stone fruits, raisiny, earthy, and more of that bready hay from the Virginias than you would the citrus stuff. Anyway, I digress. Next up, from Cornell and Deal, Golden Days of Yore. Fantastic aromatic blend. And the flavor profile is quite different from a lot of other aromatic blends that are out there, because to me a lot of aromatic blends are all very similar, especially if they happen to be based with vanilla flavor offerings. But the Golden Days of Yore kind of stands out all on its own, in my opinion anyway. Another nice blend. Here's another one I might dabble into a couple of times over the season, is the Plum Pudding apple brandy barrel aged Christmas spirit that they came out with. I only acquired one tin of this and never got a chance to acquire another one before it was all said and done. But you could see how often I go into it, and this was that 1 4-ounce plug or whatever that they sell you. And I don't know if this was like the regular plum pudding that they just aged in an apple brandy barrel, or if this was like the special reserve that they aged in a apple brandy barrel. If you know, maybe drop a comment in the bucket down below. Let everybody know if they want to know, for the sake of knowing. It might not be that important to everybody. It really doesn't matter all that much to me. I like it, and that's what really matters. So whether it's the special reserve or it's not, irrelevant to me. It's pretty good. I got one more. I got one more blend that I just acquired this year for the very first time. It's an aromatic. It's not one of these small limited release Virginia Periques or straight Virginia, or even English type release or anything like that. I honestly haven't even really paid attention to see if there was any kind of special Christmas release things that were really coming out this year. This aromatic only comes out this time of the year. It probably needs no introduction. There are some reviews of it out there in the community. Not a whole lot. But I think it's worth it. And if you're not familiar with it, Strauss Tobacco puts out a Christmas blend every season called Wenceslas. Now, this label here is a picture that I saw on a jar that they advertise on their website. But up here where it says Strauss Tobacco, usually that says Good King Wenceslas. Obviously from the story Good King Wenceslas. I might do a review of this. Not a review, but I might do a video before the actual Christmas holiday on my thoughts on this blend. I'll try and get that out to you. Please don't hold me to it, because this time of the year is just crazy busy for everyone. I was gonna order Sleepy Hollow from Strauss Tobacco this year, and I called a little too late. By the time I got around to trying to order Sleepy Hollow, it was probably the week of Halloween, or the week ending the week before the week of Halloween. And they were out. Couldn't even order it. I wasn't heartbroken or anything. It'll be back again next year, and I've got a couple of other autumn blends to hold me over for the next few years, even if I didn't want to order it for the next few years. So I'd seen some reviews and heard some things about the Wenceslas and figured, well, I really don't want to miss the opportunity to order that. So on Black Friday, they start taking orders for the Wenceslas, and I want to say it probably shipped within a week to a week and a half of me having had placed the order. I opened it up, smelled it, and I decided I had to get into it right away. But I'll leave that conversation for another video. So that's going to do it for me. Just wanted to check in, get this out there, say hello to everyone. I know it's been probably a couple of weeks now since I got a video or two out last. For the holidays, that's what I'm looking at this year. Any one of these blends here or there over the next few weeks, in between either a cigar or some other crossovers or straightforward English and Balkan type blends. It's kind of where I'm at. Just figured I'd share it. Let me know what you think about any of those blends. the plum pudding, you know, whether it's the special reserve or not. The crinkle flake, that's good stuff. If you've got any of that 2020, the 2022 was pretty good also. I will say that. I think I gave one or two away in my first giveaway. I may have one for myself, and I think I've got at least one of the 2023 tins. And I think they're basically all the same, with the only exception is the Perique is just getting aged 1 year longer each time they did it. But I could be wrong. But, you know, for a Virginia Perique, for a guy who doesn't normally care for Virginia and Virginia Periques, really good. I could see why it would be a little apropos for this time of the year when we start getting into especially desserts that involve a lot of dried fruits and spices and things of that nature. You know, the Perique and the dark fruit tastes that you get from the Virginias that they use in there, really nice. So, hope you enjoyed that. I'd like to take this time real quick to thank everybody, any newcomers to the channel. I appreciate all the support. I've been doing this for a few years now and never really thought I'd last this long, but I think the only reason I have is because more and more of all of you have continued to, you know, weigh in and support, and I thank you all for that, right? So that's going to do it for tonight. Until next time, be good.